Hello, and welcome to our poster session. Thank you for joining us as we share with you our poster on gathering data with Durham's Latinx community, a community-based participatory assessment project. Presenting for you today are Jess Epsten, Mara Plantholt, and Gavin Shelton. This poster outlines our strategies for carrying out a CBPR assessment with the Durham Latinx community to build a foundation for lasting relationships between Durham Public Library and its community members that go beyond the bounds of collection development.
So before creating our assessment plan, we took a look at some related literature. And although we were unable to find any literature that specifically discussed a library's use of CBPR to assess the needs of Latinx individuals in their community, we did find literature that discussed libraries using other assessment methods to do this. And we also found some literature that discussed the use of CBPR by organizations and businesses other than libraries to assess the needs of the Latinx community. This literature is all listed on our poster. We also took a look at library Twitter, but the majority of the engagement related to the Latinx community was centered around Hispanic Heritage Month in September. So we've listed on our poster our primary focus questions. So they are, what are the prominent issues that Latinx communities in Durham are facing? Who are the prominent leaders and figures in the communities? What are important events, topics, or interests that bring the communities together? And then what are the smaller communities within the larger Latinx community in Durham?
In order to contextualize our project, we did an initial assessment of the community, looking at data from Durham County and the census. Of course, data, especially government collected and demographic data, only captures so much about individuals and their realities. As you can see, the Hispanic population, as defined by the census, has increased in Durham significantly in the last 2 decades, illustrating the necessity for this assessment. The included map shows the population density of the Hispanic community in Durham County. While we've included important numbers about the Latinx community in Durham, numbers are not our only form of data. And it is important to note that there are many Latinx community institutions in Durham. We've also included a link to Latinos in Durham, a project that gathers essays and oral histories from members of the Latinx community. We also identified our desired outcomes, though these might change as we work with the community to solidify our goals. We defined short-term changes in knowledge, medium-term changes in behavior, and long-term changes in conditions and attitudes, specifically for Latinx communities to feel comfortable in the library spaces and feel a sense of ownership in the library.
So now we want to walk you through our assessment planning. So the first step of our assessment planning is recruitment. We plan to identify and contact potential community partners. Potential partners include El Centro Hispano, the Durham Mayor's Hispanic Latino Committee, and the Raleigh-Durham branch of the Que Pasa Media Network. We hope to work with these community partners to recruit community participants to serve as members of our community research team. Once the research team has been formed, we plan to ask the members of the research team how they would like to be compensated for their time and work, and we will compensate them accordingly. All members of the community research team will be compensated.
Next, we are planning a minimum of 3 training sessions with our research team, with flexibility to add more if the group decides it is necessary. Each session has specific learning objectives. For example, building rapport within the team, discussing ethical considerations of research, and deciding on different levels and elements of participation in the assessment project. It is very important that these training sessions and all subsequent meetings are very communal, meaning we will have ample time to include community agenda items, team building activities, and always engage ideas and questions from participants. It is important that we present the material in a variety of ways, provide interpretation, meals, and childcare, and for the meetings to take place in a neutral and accessible location.
In planning and designing, we will ensure that the whole team determines our priorities and desired outcomes together. We'll use these outcomes as a guiding star in shaping and choosing our research methods, formatting our assessment interactions, and collecting our data. keeping in mind resources like time, finances, experience, community knowledge, and connections. As we prepare to gather our data, we will think as a group about our target populations, brainstorm and evaluate methods for recruitment, and if appropriate, retention. We'll also consider some community-centered neutral meeting spaces for interviews and other like events. We'll agree on an action plan and task distribution for gathering data. When it comes time to assess results, library staff will send a report of results to the team, who will meet for group analysis to identify significant elements and themes in the results. This is also when we'll assess our methods, look back on our initial outcome statements and compare them to actual outcomes, and determine as a group what work should come next for the library.
So once the research is complete, it's time to share our results. We plan to ask the members of our community research team how and to whom they believe the research findings should be shared. We will encourage the members of the team to be involved in the dissemination of our findings by helping to design handouts, plan presentations, attend meetings, etc. We will ensure that the methods we use to share information are accessible and available in both Spanish and English. And that concludes our poster presentation. Thank you so much for watching.